Alright. Hello, it's Sunday. And we still have a massive TRS queue to get through, so it's another Sunday TRS. Once again, we'll be just showing runs that have not been marked to be commented specifically on Saturdays. We've got... Oh, I forgot to update the schedule again. Give me a sec. Edit command schedule. Yep. Okay. So, oh, this got changed its formatting. There's actually a space after each escape character now. That's useful. Anyway, yes, we're going to be starting out with LOL-K first, and then 2 USD runs, 2 UFO runs, Syphis run, then we go finally into FDF2. Got a lot of, I mean, not surprising, it's a lot of survival runs, but this time we're just mostly focusing on 1cc level runs. There's 1 LMBNR in there, that should be quite entertaining for Terragat. But other than that, it's mostly just 1cc, so let's see how well these players do. We're gonna start off with a LOL-K run by Yokai Pinata. LOL-K normal survival with Marissa. Let me turn up the volume a bit. Just tell me in chat if it needs adjusting, but yeah. Alright, let's have a look at the run comments. Show, Doremi, mid-boss, and boss, standard everything else, so we'll be skipping the stake sections for stage 1 and 2, and we'll just show those. Old replay. Before you ask about the chapter right before rain, I was so nervous I forgot how to do the cheese. I put it on Lunacast back then, but ended up not submitting it at the time for various reasons. Okay. In that case, let's just jump into it then. So, LOL-K survival, LOL-K normal 1cc is kind of in an awkward position, where it's entirely possible to cheese it with Sanai or Raisin, but because there's not as many bullets as there are on the higher difficulties like Hard and Lunatic, it can be somewhat tricky to achieve the at least 200, if usually more than 200 grays you need on stage sections in order to get those life pieces. So it's a little bit more effort that you have to put in to get your resources. It's not that much. Usually you can still get much more than enough. But obviously this is using a Marissa, and Marissa is the worst survival shot in the game. The main problem with Marissa is just that she has no horizontal range apart from her lasers. But if you're focused, then you can literally only shoot in front of you. And the bomb itself is very inconducive towards grazing, which is what you need to do to get resources. So if you bomb, there's a good chance that you'll be cancelling most of the bullets you want to graze, and you won't even be able to move quickly to get to any graze points. Oh, wait. Let me do that again. I forgot to show the mid-boss. But yeah, Marissa has problems with trying to 1cc this game. She just has the hardest time of all the characters. No real... I mean, it's just the way the character is designed, really. To compensate, she has very good boss damage. So, like, the boss fights will be over much faster than usual. Her boss DPS in this game is actually fairly phenomenal. Like, it's not to be underestimated. But obviously, oh, didn't quite get 200 there either. Let's just skip the rest of the stake section. It's quite boring. The stake sections on normal mode, they're not that bad. You can learn all of them, honestly. It's just routing most of the stake sections. Like, it's Touhou. The stake sections are mostly streaming and stuff. You can route them. Okay, to dodge those non-spells, you have to move actively upwards and not just bottom hug, because that can happen where you just get walled at the bottom, but normally non-spells are difficult, it's just whatever. First spell is just spinning around, like sort of where the pattern spawns, but it's because of that that you also don't want to flail too much on this pattern, because then the pattern could spawn in a very awkward position and angle. Not getting 200s, but it doesn't really matter. You can see that they've already got 5, nearing 6 lives if they just get 1 extra bonus, and it's only stage 3. Like, the rest of the game is only going to be easier to get those 200 Grace chapters in, and you just get a lot of life pieces in this game. Even with Marissa, I mean, I say even with Marissa, but it's just that you can get so many resources in this game because there's just so many chapters, and it's so profitable to try to get a life piece from each chapter that you have a lot of room for error. But it's also something that you have to slightly work towards, and if you have no idea what you're doing, which, I mean, it looks like they at least know how to dodge some stuff, they know how to do the safe sections, and they're bombing the stuff they know they're not confident in, like here. But if you don't know how to do anything, then obviously you're going to run out of resources much faster than you can gain them in any game, really. So this is looking to be just a very standard, solid 1cc level run. Dreamcatcher on normal is not that difficult, but you do need to be a bit aware of the lasers around you. Then the final is static on all difficulties. On normal, you can just kind of dodge at the bottom in the same way every time. It's not that dense. You can tell the same gaps. Not getting 200, but getting through the boss fight is good enough. Like, if you're not confident in stalling just those extra 2 or 3 seconds to get the remaining grace to 200, then it's fine. Like, again, you have so many resources. You're not really hurting for the lives, and it's just better to be safe than to accidentally die while trying to grace. Alright, this part is just streaming. Though I don't know if they know that. Oh! Okay, that is a problem. The lasers diagonally are going to be much harder to read, especially when they accelerate as they like fire outwards. So if you're going to want to like try to dodge that, it's better to kill off the yin-yangs on the left side and then move under the yin-yangs on the right side, because that way you'll have a straight angle ahead of you so you can read the laser's path in a much more obvious fashion. But that's well, it's not a big deal. This section probably needs to be bombed anyway, because it is a fairly tricky streaming section if you don't know how to restream properly. Okay, so Sagome has these orbs that circle her, and they will absorb some shots, and that is primarily why Sagome can feel tanky with certain characters. But Mercer's a very strong shot. Her missiles will be more than enough to kill off the yin-yangs fast, and then Sagome herself has very little health, so you'll be able to take down her patterns fairly quickly. The yin-yang orbs here leaking is not great. They will fire until they're off the screen, so it's better to be a little farther left and land all of your shots. Okay, this section is all aimed. I hope they don't know. Well, they're still dodging it fine for now, but it's just individual lasers. If you don't know that this is aimed, then this part can be quite overwhelming. Yeah, they bombed it. Not a big deal. They got 200 at... Oh, they didn't get the chapter bonus. Did they miss an orb? I did catch it, but they must have. No, they probably... No, it's because they missed the yin-yang orbs from the post-mid-boss section. It's a continuous chapter from that until the lasers, so... that's rough. And then this last section, it's not really worth it to try to grace this for 200, it's just too risky. You just want to focus on safety here. But, you know, still a decent amount of resources. You'll get enough from Sagome. And especially in late game, you'll definitely be able to hit the 200. Yeah, start the fight. Okay. Sagome's first non is A little tricky, but it's mostly about reading the lanes that the pattern forms, even if they're not very obvious and quite a bit sparser than the Beyond Lunatic, for instance. This pattern is, for the most part, very easy. Yeah, there you go. If you wanted to, you could try to stall that and like grace the aimed, double aimed amulets, but again, it's risk that if you're not comfortable taking, don't take it. Okay, this pattern should be an easy 200 if they just slow grace a couple of these bunches. Really, not going for that. Alright, there we go, yeah, 200. And then just circle around, and that should be able to finish off the pattern just fine. Okay, this final non is much denser than before. Bombing is fine. Shotgun Coronation has a safe spot. Yep, do that. If you want your 200 Gracia, you fire above Sagumi. That way you'll kill off the Yin Yangs that are going above her, and they'll fire off bullets that travel outwards from the safe circle that you're in, so you won't be hit and you get to grace some free bullets. Final is just about picking the right gaps. It's not that hard to read the lasers. And there you go. 6 lives, going to probably die early in the stage 5, I have to assume. It's definitely the roughest stage for this game, for Marissa. They're taking quite long breaks after the boss fights. Well, they took a long break before Sagumi as well, but it's fine, you know. If you're on pace, you could get nervous, so it's best to just calm down. But yeah, this is the stage where Marissa's lack of range in general is going to really show. When you're playing as Reimu or Sanae, where your shots can be homing and cover the whole screen, that makes this stage a lot easier. You kill the enemies like as they spawn in, so they don't even get the chance to really fire off any bullets. But well, we don't have that luxury. So even though this is normal mode and the stage is a lot tamer on normal than Lunatic, you're still going to... Oh no! Oh no! Two approaches to this section. Either you start in the corner and then you slowly stream to the other side for the entire chapter, or you have to make a very active restream halfway through. I hope they have a route for this. They don't. Do they? This doesn't look routed. Move left? Okay, good. Yeah, at least they're aware of what to do at least. But the previous section, if you don't restream, you will get cornered if you start in the middle and go to the side. So it's very necessary to restream. But restreaming is also not the easiest thing to do, especially on like Jellybean streams with random spam. So I would generally recommend just taking a slow stream from the left to the right side of the screen. But obviously you have to remember the section is coming, so that just takes practice. Okay, this section is a lot easier than on Lunatic, just because the lasers fire off so much slower. You have a lot more time to slowly move. You still don't want to take this too slow. Oh, well, that honestly could have been reacted to, like if you just moved a little left, but it's fine. Oh god, no. Right, so this part is rough even on normal. Yeah, bomb. The last fairy is quite dense, especially if the lasers start to overlap with the previous waves. But oh no, yeah, this is Marissa moment. This is Marissa moment. You have no range on your shots, so unless you like stick on the left or right side of the screen and spawn kill those waves, you will have to deal with a lot of lasers at once. And it's even worse of an idea, honestly, to be on the left or right side, because then you'll be directly in the path of the majority of the lasers from the other side of the screen. So yeah, and it's just something you have to deal with Marissa. This section, likewise, it's routable even if the fairies fire off all of their bullets, but it's much nastier than with a more comfortable homing shot. And this section, it's the worst of them all, honestly. Like, the fairies, if they stay on screen for too long, they'll fire off these randomly aimed star rings, and it can get very dense. Again, Marisa's lack of range is really hurting her here, so you have to deal with a lot of this. But overall, a decent stage section. It only lost 1 life, and 5-1 into Clown Pieces. Decent. You'll probably get much more than enough for stage 6 just from the Clown Piece fight alone. Assuming they know what they're doing. Let's see if they do. First non, quite dense. Very difficult to read for normal mode. You have like very little space to really dodge in, so this is just about oh, she's slow. This is fine though. This is good dodging. Alright, that's fine. First spell is entirely static. Wait, no, that's not true. First spell is entirely static on Lunatic, but on normal, you instead of having to deal with star rings coming from Clown Piece, you have to deal with a random star spam from the top of the screen. They have varying speeds, so this is commonly considered to be one of the patterns that's harder on normal than Lunatic. There's a very infamous meme in the gameplay community about Clown Piece being harder on Lunatic, being harder on normal than Lunatic. The originator of that comes from a couple patterns on Clown Piece being unironically being harder on normal than Lunatic. That last spell being one of them, and I believe it should be the next spell as well. Flash and Stripe. Yes, this spell. On Lunatic, you have to deal with the random star spam that we just saw in the previous pattern. But that is much less dense than whatever this is. So this is a significantly harder pattern than its equivalent on Lunatic. Like, it's not even close, honestly. But, well, you just have to deal with it anyway, so bomb spamming through it is a perfectly acceptable strategy for grossly overtuned patterns. Alright, third non is just about streaming and avoiding these lasers while you make your way through aimed random spam. Yes, Clown Piece is harder with those 2 spells on normal, but that's all the spells that's more difficult. Everything else in the fight is significantly harder on Lunatic. Well, okay, if you just sit there, you're going to get Walden Grey's Inferno. You have to be a little... You have to move to the side, carve a hole out of the wall on the side. But, I mean, on every other pattern, normal is way more forgiving. This, for instance, Striped Abyss. On Lunatic, you have to go to the left and right side of the screen, but on normal, you can just stay in the middle if you're comfortable with dodging. And you have more than enough space to dodge just in the middle. Not like that. Not like that. This is fine. It's still fine. And then fake Apollo. This is a survival spell that's honestly mostly nothing. You just kind of follow the moons as they spin around, and you dodge the occasional ring of fireballs, but that's all you're doing, really. Because the moons themselves cancel bullets, so most of the time you won't really even have to dodge anything. I get it. It's a bit late into the run, so you just want to be as safe as you want. 4-2 into stage 6 is more than enough, honestly. You get a lot. The stage sections on stage 6 are really easy to farm on. And Junko is not a boss that you can easily get 200 on, especially on normal. But she has a few patterns, like the laser patterns in particular, that are pretty easy to get 200 grays on. And even so, it's just enough resources. Stage 6 should not consume any resources other than the spam, other than the rain section. This is reading a lot of dialogue. But they're probably nervous, if I had to guess. From the way they're bombing so far, they're probably nervous. Not shooting at all? I know on normal, I've tried it myself. It's a bit awkward to try to get the 200. The bullets are much harder to try to graze because they're so slow, but you want resources. Like, this is just wasting resources, honestly. Okay, this is what they mentioned in the randoms. They forgot how to do the save. They got spooked by the spirit spawning in from above them. But you can be completely safe to this if you start in the top left corner, and then as the spirits start moving towards you, you just move to the top right corner and vice versa. That's just a panic bomb, honestly. Rain section, hardest part of the stage section for sure. You just want to slowly stream from one side of the screen to the other. On normal, the star stream is not that dense that you can comfortably restream it if it's not so late into the star pattern. That's a wall. But that also wasn't really a good enough movement for a restream, so whatever. One bomb on rain is more than acceptable. And it generally doesn't form that many walls on normal, so it's still a difficult pattern. Very difficult pattern. But the decision to not shoot here for pure safety, I can understand, but it's not that hard, and you can get the payoff of the life piece as the extra safety net, so it's just a personal decision. They're not missing any power either, so I guess they really don't have a reason to shoot if they're really not comfortable. It's possible to die weirdly, for sure, yeah. The life, I mean, Marissa has a bigger grace box, you have to remember that, and it's not like you're not killing the spirits anyway, since you're going to be sleeping from left or right side of the screen. But you have to just, like, slow grace a bunch of the bullets. There's much less suicide bullets fired off by those spirits, so you have to slow grace them. So, it's a bit awkward, but again, it's like, it's not difficult, so if you like want to try to go for it, it's very possible to do that. But yeah, we're gonna have the Junko fight coming up now. Junko is a very difficult boss. Normal, I would say it's easily a very overtuned boss. Very precise, and Marissa's boss damage will help, but that's like it. You don't have the small hitbox of Reimu, so the dodging is going to be more uncomfortable. Though it's not going to get that dense on normal, it's still just going to be uncomfortable in general. We're gonna start with the first non. The first non is a tight ring. Even for normal mode, this is like really tight. Thankfully, it is a static angle that Junko fires them out at. The only variance is her movement, so you just need to angle yourself relative to Junko every single wave. It's possible to do that using just the enemy marker, so that's one way to do it. First spell should be free. It's not difficult at all, unless you pick the wrong gap completely. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Yeah, there. Oh, I would not have made that dodge, but okay. Second non, rotating, it's... Alright, fine. If you don't know, if you're not familiar with the way the wave rotates, then it can be very tricky to like figure out exactly where to align yourself. I hope... Okay, I don't really think they know what they're doing here, so they're probably gonna die to this pattern. They're sticking quite close to... I mean, it's fine. If they're able to dodge the spam, then it's fine, then... Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Third non, very, very tricky non. The angle of the first couple rings is very awkward to try to dodge with, but that's a nice cap. Alright, Primordial Divine Spirit. Well, this is another one of those patterns that people, like, it's not... It's kind of stupid, but it's not more difficult than Modern Divine Spirit World. It's just, you have to be really good at figuring out the path, or you have to get lucky with it unfolding. It's kind of dumb how much harder this is than on not easy mode. The easy mode variation only spawns 2 diagonals, so there's literally a giant diagonal gap that you can take where there's no bullets at all. But yeah, that's a good cap of Primordial Divine Spirit World. Now we have Bounce Road Non. Kind of expected that to happen, honestly. Please bomb this if it gets... Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. Alright, Trembling Shivering Star. Infamous meme pattern, but even on normal especially, you really shouldn't be dying to this. If you're not comfortable with doing the left-right movement, you can kind of just sit still for the first couple of waves. But, nerves, easy to understand why that's a bomb. Because this is a surprisingly difficult pattern if you're very nervous about your movements. But, you know, they've shown they're able to do it, so the bomb is really just more of a skipping part of the pattern. Alright, Pristine Lunacy, it's just reading the lasers in a specific way. Not as dense on as on Lunatic, for instance, so it's like you're less likely to get walled, but the way the lasers overlap is still a fairly difficult thing to discern, so the bomb there is perfectly understandable. It's Junko, you know? It's a 1cc, there's no reason to really try to dodge patterns that you're not comfortable with, and it's easy to not be comfortable with any of these. Survival, it's really just moving out of the ring as they spawn. You will have to move faster and faster as the pattern progresses, but it never really gets to a point where it's that overwhelming, so if you're able to align yourself up with a gap, then you should be able to be just fine on this. Ah! Just bomb. Yeah. This is way more than enough resources for PDH. I guess PBH on normal. It's a shame they're 1 life fee shot from the 3rd life, but at this point you can just bomb spam the rest of this pattern and it'll be fine. And you don't have to bomb the first 2 phases because they're easy. But let's see how they do. There is no PDH command. Ah! Well, yeah, the blue part is the difficult part of the pattern. Honestly, I would say that PBH, the normal variation, is already like a very difficult pattern on like hard mode. So it just goes to show how ridiculously like overtuned some of these patterns can be in LoL game. But very, very good resource accumulation in the early game. They knew, like, even if we sped through it, they knew what they were doing in the first 2 stages. They got a lot of life pieces, and even though they didn't really get that many life pieces in the late game stages and boss fights, it was more than enough to coast them to victory. So GG, that's a very very good 1cc there. Very, very large room for error at the end there. But yeah, it's quite obvious that they were very nervous when they were doing the run. But you know, everyone gets nervous when they're on like good pace, so it's understandable, and they perform quite well even under that nerves. Alright, we're gonna move on now to the next run. It's going to be, let's have a look, an EOSD run. We're gonna do EOSD normal survival first, then we're gonna do the lunatic survival. Both are with Reimu A, which is not the, I mean, okay, I guess for 1cc it is a very standard shot type, but generally not the one that people would recommend. Scorella something to get amazing TRS material. Yeah, it's just that no one really submits those kind of runs. Alright, let's see. Shot type change. And let's boot up EOSD. Yeah, feel free to submit runs achievements that you get. Right now, we have a 2-month submission limit. You submit one run, and then you can always change the submission requested in the TRS Discord, but you have to wait 2 months between your submission and your next submission. Struggle with something funny and clean score runs. It's up to you, honestly. It's just like, what do you think like you want the commentary to be? Because it's your run, it's showcasing your run. So, like, what do you want out of the showcase, honestly? Alright. This is the run. Let's have a look at the notes. Default skips, so we'll be skipping through the first 3 stages. Notes, comments say this was my first Touhou 1cc that I did back in February. This run was submitted at the start of November, so it's been 1 month since the submission. So yeah, let's show this already. We have a backlog to go through. It's not as bad as it was like a couple months ago, or like before. After TWC 2021, I believe it was a monster queue. We've whittled that down over time, but yeah, we're gonna need to work on it again to make sure it doesn't spiral out of control. Anyway, EOSD survival. It's the early game has this little mini game sort of picking up power, but other than that, the stage sections are mostly quite simple. Especially on normal mode, they're not really gonna wall you or anything. Especially if you like route a bit. On Lunatic you have to route somewhat. But the boss fights are one of the big highlights of EOSD. Well, really the biggest highlight of EOSD, where the patterns have a lot of variance to them. They can be very easy or very difficult, sometimes depending on the RNG, but for a 1cc run, you're not really expected to capture any of the hard stuff, so it ends up being quite a normal 1cc regardless. And it's not like your oh fuck, EOSD's not showing, is it? Whoops. 1 second, it didn't capture the goddamn window. I'm running the game in VPatch, like fake full screen, so it's like covering exactly where it would show up in my OBS, so I didn't see it, sorry. There we are. Anyway, EOSD survival ends up being a very standard 1cc. You have no means of getting extra resources other than just playing the game. You're going to get all the point extends, and that means you have a static amount of extends in the game, total of 8 lives. So it's just about performing well enough above that benchmark. There's no system to really go into other than like collecting power, which is really not that important. You're going to get enough power anyway. But yeah, Reimu A for survival is it's a fine shot type. The bomb is very strong on Reimu A. Fantasy Seal can skip patterns, which some other shot types might not be able to. And the shot itself is the best shot for stages. You have the ability to basically neutralize any difficulty from stage sections because the homing is so good. But the damage is really bad for boss fights. Reimu A's damage is like, it will make patterns drag out for a lot longer. It's not like a huge deal for a 1cc. The bomb can take care of that, but it's like you're really like, if you play a forward focus shot like Reimu B or Mercer A, you're going to notice the difference of how much faster you kill boss patterns than with Reimu A. So it's like if you learn the stage sections well enough, it's not really a shot that you would need to use, but it's just a nice comfortable shot. It's a very strong homing shot for what it's worth. Like, the damage is a bit poor, but it's workable, and if you just want to chill and play the game, it's a very good option. Anyway, Mei-Ling here. Mei-Ling has some RNG, though it's usually not that bad on normal. I do want to watch some of the patterns on normal though, so let's have a look at the last two spells, because those are really the only points of our major RNG in the raining fight. Looking fine so far. The score extent values are no, they're not different. It's the same regardless, but you are not going to like miss them. Like if you, and especially with Reimu A, you have so much room to poke the items that you're really not going to miss them anyway. Yeah, they started with extra lives. This is so it's a 1cc still, but it's not like a default setting 1cc, so it's not really like something that would be on the same level as a 1cc on like a later game, for instance, because you have that many extra lives and it's going to make a difference. Like you start with 2 extra lives, which means you have 2 extra mistakes, just 2 extra deaths, and 6 extra bombs to work with. It's a huge amount of leniency, especially for a game like USD. But it's the first 1cc, and like they play USD for the first game. It's like whatever. If they want to at a later point, they can easily just go back and get default starting life clear. Some people, they even clear with more than 2 extra lives anyway, so it's not like they needed those extra lives. It's just a whatever thing. The game lets you do it, so why not? I mean, personally, I don't use the option. Even when I started, I always started with defaults, but it's not a big deal. It will kill your score, that is true. Like, you get almost no... oh no. You will get almost like no stage clear bonus, so you will have a much worse score than a default clear settings 1cc. Now the thing I don't understand is why you can lower the amount of resources you start with, and that still gives you a massive score handicap. But whatever. Score a run of max initial lives. It's just there's not really much to say right now because the stage sections all get trivialized with Reimu A. If it was a different shot type or a higher difficulty, you would still need to like know what you're doing somewhat, route a bit, so that you don't get walled horribly. But, you know, the homing just takes care of everything as they spawn, so they don't really have the chance to really wall you before they die. They're getting a bit spooky though. Doesn't look like they're very familiar with where the enemies are spawning from, so they're just letting the homing carry them here. Alright, good. They're hitting the enemy from the middle. Okay, never mind. If you want to capture this section as Reimu A, you have to shotgun damage the ferry in the middle a bit first before you move on to the left side, and then as the aim spam starts coming towards you, you'll kill and trigger the cancels of the left, middle, and right ferries respectively. If you just start from the left, you're probably not going to be able to damage the middle ferry enough to be able to kill it before it overwhelms you, but whatever, a bomb there is fine. But yeah, this is where we're going to start noticing the... This is where we're going to start noticing the problems with Reimu A's damage. The patterns are going to drag on for quite considerably long periods of time. Now, another benefit of Reimu A is you have a really, really easy patch early fight. They could have dodged that, but whatever. Alright, Trillathonch, what was it again? No, this is... I forgot the spell's name. It's just random spam though, and it's not very dense, so it's not hard. Alright, Lava Cromlech. It's a bit uncomfortable on normal. Sometimes the spam is in a very bad spot and you could get walled, but generally it's not dense enough to really be a problem. Could have tried to dodge that. No, they use extra lives. They've died already. Wait, have they died? No, wait, They've definitely used extra lives, so they haven't even gotten the 60 mil extend, and they've already got 7 lives. So this is definitely like 2 extra. No, then they died. Yeah, they died. All right. Stage 5. They're probably gonna do this at the bottom, if I had to guess. Just because Reimu A can take care of the stage section enough that you don't really have to do any like top strats. But there is just one slight problem. Dodging the random spam could mean that you flail around a bit too much, and that could make the aim pattern a bit too difficult to dodge. But they're not moving that much, so it's fine. Yeah. What are you doing? Oh my god. So, those fairies, they fire continually aimed bullet lanes. So if you don't move, they will fire in one angle continuously. If you move, that happens, and you end up having spam to dodge instead of just aimed. But yeah, if you don't know what's happening there, then it's easy to just mess that up, so it's understandable. This is a lot of resources for the last 2 stages of the game. It's more than enough to bone slam it, honestly, so like at this point I don't see how this 1cc fails. And it's not like they don't know what they're doing entirely, they like actually are dodging some of this stuff. Misdirection. This pattern is oh my god, oh my god. No, what is that? Wow, they just moved into the knife there. Oh, please stop doing this. Misdirection is an entirely aimed pattern. You don't move and the pattern is just one tap. This is a very basic, like very common beginner mistake of like moving too much in Touhou. There's a lot of aim patterns in Touhou, especially on stage sections, and if you move too much, you'll complicate the aiming of the pattern and you'll make it like much harder to deal with. It's not like this movement isn't so bad, it's just they're moving at the wrong times. I've seen people who just flail around in the middle of the screen like when they're doing nothing, and it ends up just screwing them in much worse ways. But this is bad. This is still bad. Like, unironically, one of the things to realize about Touhou is that not moving is oftentimes going to be the right choice. You don't have to be moving all the time to get to a better position. Sometimes just not moving is going to get you the better position anyway. Alright, this pattern is a bit awkward. You just need to be a bit careful with like dodging into the knife lanes. But they're doing it fine. Okay, second on. It's not that nasty. Shouldn't wall. Yep, this is fine. Then we have Lunar Clock, which is this is actually a fairly awkward pattern for normal. You kind of restricted into a lane with these rice bullets, but the green knives can be quite nasty with how randomly aimed they are. And there you go. Yeah, that's a good bomb there. Third non is tricky to dodge if you're not comfortable with reading the reflecting bullets. This movement is it's making me nervous. Alright, Killing Doll on Lunatic is like an infamous pattern, but it's stupid, actually stupid on normal. This is actually one of the rare points where... Oh my god! Oh my god! Nice dodging. This is one of the rare points where Rainbow A really shines, because the homing ensures that you are at least doing some damage to Sakuya all the time. Wow. That's a very nice cap there. Okay, stage 6 is another stage section, which is, I mean, other than the spam section at the start, it's all aimed rings, so don't move and it'll be fine. If you move, then it becomes really hard to read those rings. I don't see how this 1cc fails at all. Like, I think they could have easily done this 1cc without those extra lives. Oh no, they don't know it's aimed. Then they'll probably be, yeah, this is, yeah, there you go. It's aimed. Just sit still, and then sidestep, and that's all you have to do on that. Oh, I thought that walled them. Eternal Meek is, yeah, instant bomb. Meek has probably already a well-known fact, but Meek has less health with Rainbow A than with other shot types, because Rainbow A is that weak. (7-3) for Remy. Like, it would be, you would have to literally like forget how to bomb to fuck this up. Let's see how they do. First non is not really difficult, you just kind of dodge. It's the gaps are very big for a stage 6 pattern. That's a panic bomb. Alright, Star of David is a fairly awkward pattern for normal. The Mentos are a bit weird, like the hitboxes can feel very off on them. So, oh my... Do they just not know the Remy fight at all? They've been doing more than fine for the last 5 stages. This is like a disaster already. Oh my god. Yeah, if I had to guess, they just didn't practice stage 6 at all. So they're just improvising, and that was... You have to do this under the boss. Like, under the boss as they spawn the wave, because then you don't have those awkward angles to deal with. Knife non. Don't go for the... Okay, good. It is surprisingly good dodging for improv, but this is very, very rough improv still. Yeah, I think they actually just don't know any of Remy's patterns or how to dodge any of them, so they're just panic bombing every. Ah! No, 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 no. You don't want to be this high up. Power cancels a bit early, but it's fine. They can dodge the random spam. Then aim bubbles. Please don't get gibbed. Oh my god! Yeah, they walled themselves there. Ah. Maybe they did need extra lives after all. Alright. After this should be Meister. Oh, sorry, Scarlet Shoot on normal, that's right. So, on normal, the pattern works a bit very differently. I mean, Fantasy Seal takes it down anyway, but you have to just get out of the way of those shotguns. Red Magic. I think they can still clear with 2 extra lives. They can still clear easily, but they would need to now know somewhat what to do on Red Magic. Oh no, what is this bomb? They don't know that's bomb immunity. Okay, yeah, they're not really going for like clearing with those 2 extra lives, so they're just bombing for safety because they have those extra resources to work with. But Rainbow A's damage is it does not shine here. Rainbow A's damage is so bad that you might actually run out of resources if you keep spamming them like that. And this is the awkward part of Red Magic. They're dodging it fine, actually. No, not like that. This is nerve-wracking. Oh my god, if they bomb enough, they might actually time this pattern out. Holy crap, this damage is so bad. Oh, this is going to be close. Okay, maybe, no, it's not really gonna be close because when they die, they're just gonna keep shooting anyway, so that will take off a big chunk of health. And that should be the pattern. Oh my god. Why not? Why not? Kill it. Alright, 2 seconds away from timing it out. GG's. Your first 5 stages were almost perfect. Like, I can, with Rainbow A and like normal 1cc level dodging, apart from those mistakes of like moving too much and screwing yourself on otherwise normal aim patterns, you had much more than a perfect performance. Like, you had a much more than on par performance for a normal 1cc. But that Remilia fight was a disaster. So it honestly looks like it was just a blind Remilia fight, which is, you know, fair enough. Resource tanking through it is commendable. Just having such a good early game performance to be able to resource tank it, it's one way of doing it, I suppose. But many of Remilia's patterns are not that difficult that you aren't able to do them much cleaner. So if you want to go back to EOSD to, for instance, get a default starting life clear, you're more than capable of that. It's easy to see. Like, even with that disaster of a Remilia fight, if you just cut out a couple of the biggest like random deaths, you could have easily cleared there with 2 extra lives still. So that was like an easy default life clear. But if you want to go back to EOSD, clean up the Remilia fight a bit, and obviously there's like a couple stage sections where if you just don't move that much, especially on stage 5, it becomes easy. Like it's free. So that's just a couple of things. But other than that, really, really good stage 1 to 5. So good job on that. We're gonna move on now to a Lunatic 1cc. So let's have a look. Also with Rainway, by Last Zombie. Standard skip, so we're skipping through the first 3 stages. I do want to see the mailing fight, the last 2 patterns on mailing, because on Lunatic it's actually fairly difficult, also Dreamvine. The comments say, I was shaking after it and trying not to let my heart stop beating. I also got hallucinations for a short time after the run, in which the Twitch messages and the colors on the ending screen moved around like bullets. That does not sound like something you should have happen. I would get that checked out maybe. Anyway, let's get into the run. So, on Lunatic, the kind of like brainless stage sections that we saw from the last run is not going to really apply anymore. Stage sections on Lunatic for EOSD can be quite rough if you don't know what you're doing. Even with a shot like Rainbow A, you have to at least have some knowledge of where the enemies spawn, especially the tanky ones. Otherwise, you can still just as easily get walled and put into really bad situations. And needless to say, the patterns on Lunatic are going to be a lot more difficult. The really rough patterns get much rougher, so let's see how they do on them. It really starts on mailing onwards. But this is a default starting life clear. They started with 2 extra lives, so this is going to be a very standard, conventional Lunatic 1cc. Well, I don't know about standard and conventional, we haven't really seen much of the run yet. Yeah, not much to say for the first 2 stages. They're just kind of there, mostly aim stuff, some random dodging. Yeah, nice. No miss, no bomb on the first 2 stages is definitely nice. Like, it's okay to bomb on Cherno if you need to. They know how to do stage 3 as well, that's nice. Stage 3, it's a very rough stage if you don't kill some of these kunai fairies quickly enough, because then you, even with Rainbow A, like, there you go, yeah, like the spam is going to be really hard to dodge. Rainbow Wind Chime should be fine. Second down should be fine. Alright, Dreamvine. The Train Vine looks easy enough, yeah, there you go. Okay, third non. Ah, just gonna bomb it, that's fair. Still gonna have to dodge one more wave of it though. Oh. Okay, chaotic rainbow dance. Okay, nice. Extreme color typhoon. RNG's okay. What was that dodge? Alright, alright. Decent pace mailing. 6-1 into stage 4 is definitely very good for like a 1cc level run, but obviously the difficult part of the run actually starts now. So stage 4 is you need to know how to position yourself on this stage section. Rainbow A makes some of the positioning less necessary, but you still want to do simple streaming whenever you can, and you want to speed kill the enemies whenever you can, because that happens. It can be argued that some of the spam, some of the part, especially like books, for instance, is going to be much harder with Reimu A than with other shot types because your damage is so bad that you are unable to kill stuff fast enough. And it's because of that that people recommend that you just don't shoot on books to focus on the dodging because you can't kill a book. This is, I mean, that was actually fairly okay book dodging until that wall came up. And yeah, Reimu A really sucks at the last 3 fairies for sure. That's like the biggest pain point for her. She has to go through a completely different route than the other shot types just because she's so weak. Yeah, it's like I've seen just people giving advice of just don't shoot as Reimu A because you're better off just focusing on the dodging anyway. That bomb really wasn't necessary, but I think they panicked. They could have just stopped moving into the left, honestly. That's another panic bomb. The laser is not going to pose a threat there. If you just move up, then you can still dodge the aim stuff. That moved a bit early there, but okay, the gap is still mostly there. And this is the section that Reimu A can help a lot on, just because the homing is able to track down and kill these enemies fairly quickly. But it's still preferable to have your main shot speed killing these columns, because otherwise you can still be put in an awkward position depending on how fast your homing actually kills the stuff. Alright, they're just gonna bomb it, yeah. Alright, 6-1, okay, yeah, they just got the 60 mil extend, but 6-1 into Apache is, it's okay pace. Alright, Agni Shine High level is, I honestly don't know. Yeah. It can sometimes be just stupid to try to read this, but you can also do this in the corner, makes it a bit easier, gives you a bit more space and time to read it. Second non is nothing remarkable. Don't do that. Alright, Trillathon Shake. Trillathon Shake. It's a surprisingly spooky pattern. The bubble, oh, that's a wall. Alright, this is Lava Cromlech's probably a bomb. Yep. Acceptable. Then after this would be... Oh no. Unfortunately wasted a bomb there. Then gonna have to cap Mercury Poison. I hope they know how to dodge this. They do. Do they? Okay, yeah, they do. Then Forest Blaze. This is honestly a pretty easy pattern. Shouldn't die to it. Getting pushed a bit farther to the left there. Oh my god. I wouldn't have picked that cap. Alright, nice. 5 lives out of Patchy is fine. Gonna get 1 more life from Sakuya mid-boss, so 6 lives remaining in the game. Decent enough Sakuya fight and stage 5 performance will... I would say you want like around fall 2 into Remy for a comfortable 1cc. So this is going to need like a decent enough stage. What is this? That's not how you do that. That is not how you do that. You can't speed kill these fairies. Alright, yeah, that's what you do. Personally, I prefer to be a little bit like I don't like doing a small tap down. I like to do a small tap up into the the screen border, but it's like that's what you're supposed to do. Not try to speed kill the fit. Don't move, don't move. Those wall fairies are gonna force another bomb, aren't they? Yep. Not great so far. Not great so far. Not doing the safe spot on Sakuya mid, so they're going to probably shoot this down fairly quickly. They're probably gonna have to shoot this down fairly quickly, and then they'll have to deal with the post mid boss section. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's just spam with some aim stuff, but alright. They look like they know what they're doing on misdirection at least. Yeah, they know what they're doing. But if they know what they're doing on misdirection, then what happened at the start of the stage section? Well, whatever. This part is just mostly aimed at some random thrown in. It's a bit uncomfortable. But if you just keep moving around like that, you're actually going to move into the path of the bullets that are aimed around you. So I honestly would prefer to just sit still for the most part, but it's fine. No, oh my god! It's fine, it's fine. This is, they're not as comfortable on Remy. Okay, well, that's just unfortunate. They're not gonna have a very comfortable stage 6 like this, but it's enough resources still. As long as they don't use too much on Sakuya. Okay. Jack the Ripper, I hope they know how to do this. It's just kind of sidestepping into the bubbles. Yep, there you go. This is like the normal strat, I guess. It's fine. Puts you a little more at risk of getting bad bubble RNG, but not really a big deal. Okay. Starts the second on quite far into the corner, which is actually good. Yeah, they're gonna be able to cap this just fine then. That's a panic bomb. They dodged that. They actually already dodged the pattern there, so I don't know why they bombed that, but whatever. Yeah, they know what they're doing here. Misdirecting the knife so that they don't like fold onto you as you try to damage Sakuya. And misdirect half of the knife off screen as well. Final non, shouldn't be that bad at this angle. Okay. Probably can't cap KD, so I would get yep. Oh, this is really low rank KD then. Oh my god, this is disgusting. This is so KD is easy on mid rank. At high rank, obviously it's just like really random stupid. At low rank, a lot of the knives are not going to transform, and you end up having just walls of blue knives that can trap you in much more easily. It's actually kind of stupid. But I hope that they know how to do stage 6 at least. Like, this is not a very comfortable amount of resources for Remy. It's doable, but it's not that comfortable. And oh no! Ah. They just wasted 2 bombs at the critical point in the game. That's really bad. Please bomb. Yep. Two, 3. This is going to be really rough. They need to do very well at the first part of the Remy fight so that they can at least get like 2 bombs for Meister and 3 bombs and a life for SG. It's enough, yes, it's enough, but it's not comfortable, is the thing. They, what is this gap? Okay, I don't think they know how to do ideal. Move. Yep, okay. Okay, they know how to do this non, at least. I think. Oh no. This is probably going to be a bomb. No? Whoa, okay, what was that dodge? Okay! What are these gaps? Nice cap. Nice cap. Okay, VI. It's okay to die and use 1 more bomb, I think, but then they will need to at least try to cap the final non. Yeah, that's a test. Alright. Good enough. Final non. 1 bomb here is fine, but the unfortunate part is that the bombs here usually are wasted. Oh, they got spooked. But at least the bomb damage got through. That's the important part. They're gonna be able to skip the second bubble wave, I think. They're gonna have to dodge 1 more wave of random though. Okay, nice. Scarlet Meister is going just 2 bombs here. Honestly, don't try to dodge it. Yep. That was also like the wrong direction, I think. Ah, yep. Yep, okay. Meister's just like that. And then SG. This is enough. They can clear if they dodge some of SG. They're doing that. That's a wall coming down. They dodged it, nice. Okay, nice wave now. Okay, this wave is nice as well. And nice wave again. They're actually doing this. Oh my god, that bubble was so close. Oh! Oh my god, that dodge. They're getting really good RNG on the waves, don't get me wrong, but ah! No! Oh, that was really good dodging though. That was really good dodging. GG on the run. Like, okay, yeah, this is... The early game could have gone... stage 5 could have gone a bit better. Stage 4 could have gone slightly better. Stage 6... You clutched it out, really clutched it out. Like, despite the really bad death on an aimed section, that SG was phenomenal. You saved like 2 bombs there easily. So yeah, really good job there. It would have been a really sick cap, but unfortunately just didn't move out the bubble, and yeah, it can happen. So yeah, really nice run there. Like, for me, when I did my first EOSD Lunatic 1cc, I almost lost the run. I had to death bomb on getting hit by a bubble on my last bomb, so I finished the run 0-0. That was much better dodging than what I did on my SG, so I'm very impressed. I mean, yeah, like it's like you might as well dodge it because you have that life, but that was really good dodging, really good dodging. So yeah, we're gonna move on now to the next run. Our next run is going to be one of the 2 UFO Lunatic 1cc's that we have today. Let's just go by the order of submission then. We're gonna start out with this one. The shot type is Sun IB for both of them. So yeah, we have another identical shot type, 1cc. But both are actually on the, like, literally the exact same difficulty this time and exact same game. So we'll be watching 2 1cc's. I guess we can just compare between them, see like how they do on the different sections, see how well they do on their summoning, for instance. UFO 1cc is obviously the most, I don't know if it's even arguable. I think it's the most difficult Lunatic 1cc. So both of these are like pretty monumental like achievements for these players. But there's a lot of different ways to go about it as well, so let's see how they do. We're gonna start out with this one by Ceres. Have a look at the run notes. Usual, nothing special in the early game, so let's just skip. Honestly, Ichirin, I don't really think there's much to watch on Ichirin other than like train wreck deaths, so I guess you can watch KKS, that's about it. Notes, first UFO Lunatic 1cc and my last missing Lunatic 1cc of the Windows games. Congratulations! That's yeah, that's getting all 1cc of Windows titles is definitely an achievement. From there you can move on to the LMB or dip your toes into like Survival or something. Some shenanigans in the late game, otherwise I'm glad I don't have to touch that game again for a while now. That's understandable. UFO is very difficult. Alright, let's get into it. So, UFO early game is... It's a very tiring one. Oh, I didn't fill the UFO. It's a very tiring early game. You have to put a lot of attention into it, but then, like, you can still easily die and reset, so it's rough. It's very rough. Bombing Nazrin's final is could be saved, but it's whatever. Oh no! That was a death! That was a death to the stage section! That's not a good start, but I guess you continued anyway. Not using the safe spot, it's fine, Asana. It's not fine. This is really not a good start to a run. It's fine, it's fine. It's still workable easily. Like, stage 4 gives you a lot of resources. So if you do well enough on Ichirin and stage 4 summoning, you'll have more than enough resources to clear the game. But the early game deaths are just not expected, especially for a game like UFO. Alright, let's see how this KKS goes. Yeah. Nothing much for the rest of the Ichirin fight. I'm gonna assume that you actually learned how to dodge. Never mind. Eh. Eh. Alright, stage 4 is honestly the critical juncture. There's a lot of tokens on this stage, there's a lot of chances to summon, and you can summon a lot of reds on this stage. Pick it up. I guess they want to go for the blue. Yeah. Ah! Yikes. Going for greens now, I guess. That's fine. I'll be honest, this is not looking so good so far. Could summon a blue here? Never mind. Actually, that's pointless in the 1cc. Yep, grab that. I can see why you wouldn't remember. I don't expect like a 1cc level person to be able to fill New Able summon, but that's a bit of a waste. Summoning a blue isn't pointless. If you do like a 3 blue or you pick up a blue by accident, it's like, and there's a lot of blue tokens, it's not that pointless. But the thing is, you're getting only 1 rainbow token out of it, so even if you use just a single rainbow token on the blue, it's kind of not that useful. Other than like the screen clears, which is like, yeah, sure, if you need the screen clears. This is fine, yeah, this is fine. You screwed up the streaming, but make good advantage of it afterwards. But what I would do is, after the summons, I would pick up the blues, just to get them out of the way. Yeah, bomb, summon. Yep, summon, pick up the blues. No, it's still avoiding them. Okay, red. That red is going to be impossible to pick up. I'll be honest, not the best stage 4, but oh no. I completely missed the UFO as I was leaving the screen too. Oh. It's okay, it's okay. A good Murasa fight will make up for it. A good Murasa fight will make up for it. So, the thing about Sanaibi on stage 4 is that you're killing so many enemies and there's so many items on screen that sometimes it's okay, like you can actually get away with summoning during the bomb. You won't kill the UFO before it fills up, and then when the bomb explodes you kill off the UFO and you get to like just set up another summon right away. Like, sometimes you can do that, but I can understand wanting to take it safe so that you don't like accidentally drop life pieces from killing the UFO too quickly. But I mean, overall that's going to make your summoning a lot tighter, so it's like what you're comfortable with, I guess. Oh, well, it's a tough spell. It's a really tough spell. But you should be unfocused shotgunning, using your iframes. That skips the pattern's health a lot better than using your focused shot. Your focus shot deals like very little damage at this point. Oh. It's a tough spell again. Like, Murasa is a difficult boss fight. I hope you know how to do this. Okay. Alright, this is... Yep, good. Yeah, good. 4 colonists. Nice. Never mind. It's kinda got back into it. That's nice. Okay, down. Nice. Alright, fixed it. You actually fixed it halfway through. Ah! Oh my god! A bit too close for comfort, but we're fine. Nice cap. Alright, 4-0 into stage 5, one piece off of both the next life and bomb. This is very workable. Like, some good summons on stage 5 will easily make up for, will easily, like, get resources, enough resources for the rest of the run. But I would hope that you summon well, at least. Stage 5 is okay to just liberally bomb in, so... It's not 0.75 actually. I believe it only takes 3 pieces for each bomb, so it's 0.6. Nice dodging. But blue! Please bomb, please bomb, please bomb! Oh my god. Alright, this is fine. This is not fine. Oh... This is not a good start to the stage at all. Summoning here is a bit risky. It's fine, it's fine. You made it work anyway with a bomb, but no, I'm pretty sure that it's 3 pieces for a bomb. I need to go and check, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 pieces for a bomb. I got corrected on that last stream, if I remember correctly. Yeah. This is a good dodging on this non so far. Nice. Alright, GT. 3 power GT is not going to be a cap, I have to assume this. Yeah. But you need to do unfocused shotgunning, not focused shotgunning. Like, that's, it's tough. It's a tough pattern. But please bomb to summon. Oh my god. Please summon, please summon. Oh. Like, a cancel from a rainbow deck could have cleared out the screen and saved the bomb, but whatever. Oh my god, that nearly screwed you over. It's okay. It's okay. We've only got 4 lives, but it's enough, I guess. You get a lot of bombs out of stage 6 if you summon correctly. So this is still okay. We need a good show though. Oh my god! Oh! Ah! Oh my god, what a cap! What a cap! It's really bad to die on RTG because it throws the curvy lasers off whack and they make it super unpredictable. So this is gonna need to be a cap. This is good dodging so far, actually. Really good dodging. Alright, second non is probably gonna be a death. It's really hard. Okay, nice RNG so far on the second wave. The first wave was a bit spooky. This is okay. Is this gonna be a cap? Wow, nice. Alright, AOJ. This is gonna take a long time. Yeah, this is an LNN show right now. Okay, cap. Spin the third on, nice. Okay, okay, okay. At least they didn't get kicked. Vajra, please. This is... Oh my god. Unfocused shotgun. Unfocused shotgun. Bombing CC is probably fine here. And stage 6 will get you a lot of bombs back, but... Yeah. Unfocused shotgun, please. Oh god, this is painful. It's not a big deal, honestly, but unfocused shotgun is... It's just so much stronger than the focused shotgun at 3 power. Like, the difference is between literally the strongest shot power in the game and like literally mid tier, so... It can make a difference. It can make a difference. Alright, gonna wait to summon. Yes, summoning 3 power unfocused shotgun is the strongest damage output in the game. It's honestly not close. Like, I've done the damage test before. It's not close. Going for a red here? That's fine, actually. Those 2 UFOs are stuck. Oh no. Oh wow, I actually managed to get a red out of that. It walked off. Gonna get another red. No, it's not precise. You just need to do unfocused shotgun when you have the iframes, and you will do shit tons of damage to the boss. This can do a rainbow, I guess. Ah, never mind. I think that's the wrong gap for New A Ball, but... Oh, you don't know how to do New A Ball? Full 0. This is enough. This is definitely enough resources for Byakuran, but... Don't train wreck is the only requirement. Let's just skip the dialogue reading. Alright, so, difficult points of Byakuran. Good Omen, second non, then... GT, LFS. But there's other stuff in between that can easily snipe, so... Let's see. DR, of course. Not GT, DR. Okay, the macro second non-strat. We've seen a lot of microsecond non... Never mind. We've seen a lot of microsecond on TRS runs recently. The macro strat needs a lot of confidence to pull off. You really can't hesitate in your movements. Alright. Yeah, there's definitely RNG for the macro strat, but also the micro strat. Like, there's just a lot of RNG in the second non. Alright, Magic Milky Way. This is really low. There's sort of like a nice height where the lasers aren't really going to move into you. So if you stay in that height and then do slight up and down dodging to dodge the aim stars, it's like not that difficult of a pattern, I think. What is this? What is this? The only way to describe that is luck. Alright, let's see how this DR goes. Ah! Bomb, good. The bomb damage won't carry over, but at least you guarantee the safety. Oh no. This is fine. Two lives for LFS is... Oh wait, no, this isn't gonna be 2 lives for LFS, is it? If you unfocus shotgun, well, you don't even not really even shotgunning Byakuran, but if you just unfocus when Byakuran is right above you, you can do a lot more damage than focus. But never mind. 2 lives for LFS. Nice, good. Personally, I wouldn't do as many like shotgun waves just for safety, but if you're okay with dodging like this sort of angle, then it's fine. This is good dodging. Is this gonna be a cap? Wow, nice! Wow! GG! Very, very nice 1cc there. Yeah, it's like a pretty standard-ish Sanayabi 1cc. I mean, the buff performance on Byakuran and Show, especially Show, was phenomenal. Like, that probably saved the run. The early game didn't go so well, and the summons were not so great, but that was still a really good 1cc, so very, very well done there. Yeah, and you cleared the 2 remaining lives, which is just ridiculous. We're gonna move on to another UFO Lunatic 1cc, so let's have a look at how the next one compares to this run. It's also with Sanayabi, so it's literally the exact same challenge run here, exact same 1cc, but the execution by a completely different player could be completely different. Oh, of course, run notes, I forgot to check. One sec. Skip up to Kogasa. Sure. Comments just say I'm a fucking god. Well, let's see. Yokai, your run was shown at the start of the stream. This stream, so you can go back and watch the VOD for that. Okay, Rainbow to start out. This is a lot of bombs. Are they not confident with dodging that? I guess not. But they dodged the end of the stage just fine. If I know it's a bit unnerving for a 1cc. Oh, they said skip up to cook. Never mind. I know it's a bit unnerving for a 1cc to go for the safe spot on Kogasa, but it's really like much safer than trying to do it at the bottom. The first non, you have to get in the safe spot before the first non, and then you get the safe spot the entirety of Kogasa's first spell. And oh. That's unfortunate. You could, well, it's up to you, I guess. You could just ask, in the request regardless, but I mean, it got shown already, so... Yeah, usually it's okay to just bomb on the first spell as well. So, it's very possible to fuck up the safe spot if you're not very comfortable with it. But, like, you either prepare to bomb the first spell, like, way ahead of time, or, like, you try the safe spot out. Because it's a very difficult spell. Like, it's a very underrated spell, but it's very difficult if you don't do the safe spot. So far though, it's this is more in line with like a normal 1cc. Like, the mistakes were there, but like I don't get bombing twice in stage 2. Those the revenge bullets that the Yin Yangs fire off is aimed, so it's really not that difficult to dodge. But other than that, it's fine. Like, it's not like there's been random deaths anywhere. Bombing that is expected. Okay. At least they had the sense to not still blindly go for the token when they would have been gibbed by this aim barrage. Are they gonna go for? Oh my god! Well, good thing they death bombed. That's the saving. Oh my god! No! That is a disaster. What? No, I'm sorry, the focus shotgun is triggering me, but KKS death is completely expected. Are they not comfortable with dodging these nons? Alright, this is one of the spells that if you route it, it's like still tricky, but it's much more doable. Okay, nice. This is taking a lot of waves, but that's because this is 3 power focused. Nice dodging. Good. Final non should be very easy. Okay, and then the final. So, one thing about the fist hitboxes, it's not like the size of the entire sprite. So if you like can't move left or right, if you like need to stay at the same height as you currently are at because you can't move up or down for whatever reason, you want to try to stay in the middle of the screen because the fist hitbox actually doesn't extend that far, and ideally you want to move like a bit lower. It's like the sprite indicator is nicer there. Oh no, they're gonna break the UFO. Okay, that's fine. They're fine. I would Oh no! No! Oh no! Summon, summon, just summon. Yeah. Okay, pick up the blue, please. No, that's fine. Yep, summon. Pick up the blue, please. That's gonna break. Okay, that's fine. Alright, pick up red, pick up red. Ah, no, missed it. New wave ball should then pick it up, pick it up. Nice. Only that one last UFO there. Okay, gonna summon it during new wave ball, so you need to stop shooting. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's very good, very good. Wow, okay, they dodged that. Just being in the middle here is safe. Alright, they're restreaming this properly. Summon, nice. Opens up a gap, nice. And then can summon another red right now if you just bomb. Well. No, they didn't have any bombs left, so yeah, they were gonna die there anyway. Yep, good. Bomb to summon and clear off the screen. And then you can get one more green in before the end of... Nah, actually no, you can't. But you can get one more red lined up. And yeah, this is more resources than the last run. That is like more in line with what I would expect from a good summons stage 4. But well, good resource gain is basically just to make up for like more mistakes later down the line. So let's see how that boss performance goes, because that could dictate like how many extra lives they end up clearing with, if any. Alright, first spell is Piss Easy. All the Murasanons are static. The only variance is where she is on the screen, so you just need to adjust accordingly. Syncable Vortex is stupid. Alright. This is not... yeah, barely any leftovers. They didn't get in the way really. That's nice. What? Whoa, what? What was that torch? Alright. I just bombed it, none on my 1cc. I couldn't be bothered. Alright, nice cap. Do they know the four corner strat? I know I preach it like every time I see this spell, but it's just a really safe and consistent way of doing it. And it just seems so stupid to not go for it. But this is not it. This is not it. They did not stick at the far ends of the screen long enough, so now they're gonna have to deal with the normal pattern. Alright, managed anyway. It's like, I guess it's not that difficult, but like for me at least, I just find it so much easier and consistent with the four corner strat that you just don't have to worry about anything once you get it. Of course, learning the strat itself can be difficult because like you actually need to learn like how to position yourself and how to make the very large movements, but I don't know, once I got it I just never stopped using it because it's just that looked a bit risky. I don't get gipped by the last arrow. Okay, nice. Yeah, full lives, almost full lives, probably going to be full lives on stage 5 is like what you would expect from really, really good resource gain and a really good Murasa fight. Picked up that UFO by accident, but that's fine. This is very, very good resources. They're gonna lose a life now, but you know, full lives on stage 5 is a very nice accomplishment. Yeah, a bit sooner than expected, but also not the right gap. Alright, GT bomb. Summon. Break. Oh, almost didn't break that in time. Okay, summon. Break. The greens flew off screen, otherwise I would have suggested summoning a green. That's fine. Yeah, this is really good. Max lives into show. Forget I said anything, I forgot that happened. Alright. They're not gonna gorilla dodge show or anything, so this is where those extra resources compared to the last run, this is where they're gonna be used. And I'll be completely honest, dodging, like, capping Sho and Byakuran patterns like Ceres did is not normal. You don't really do that in 1cc's. Generally, people just skip the hard stuff with bombs, so... Also, yeah, 3.99 power is very sad. It makes a huge difference. Like, people don't... people, like, might not really realize it, but it's a huge power difference between 3 and 4 power for Sanai focused. AOJ is a tame enough pattern that pretty much anyone can really try to cap it. Yeah, this is a good cap. Third non. No! No, no! Oh no! I hope you know what you're doing. Alright, alright, alright. This Vajra is looking okay so it looked a bit off. But yeah, they're making very good use of their iframes as well to kill off patterns, so they don't end up having to bomb it again or whatever. That was definitely not the right spot to be in. And also that bomb was completely wasted. I mean, not wasted per se, but it like didn't cancel out the next wave because it was at the exact worst timing possible. So, oh well, that's fine. 6-1 into stage 6 is very, very good pace. It would be really hard to fuck it up from here. Like, this is probably on track to beat the game to 1cc with more resources than the last run. I know I said that at the EOSD run, but like, come on, the EOSD run was like, they didn't know what they were doing on Remedia at all. Alright, they're gonna summon, I would summon a Rit if I could. Hello? Alright. Please kill the UFO at least. Get the token out of it. Alright. Scoring blue. Always nice, but we want a red. Never mind. Yeah, it's okay. Setting up a red can be a bit tricky. But they have 3 out of 4 pieces for the last life, so... Oh well, 6-6... okay, first new ball first, but 6-6 right now is way more than enough resources. You can literally bomb spam the rest of the game. And they kept new ball, so that's 6-6 into Byakuran. This is, like... What it would take to fuck this up is... Well, it would be that USD run. It would have to be something like that USD run. Which I don't think is going to happen. They've been bombing really well the entire time. Just take a short break here. Yeah, it's understandable. This is the best 1cc of UFO I've seen. Like, easily. This is a lot of resources. Alright, good omen. This is, yeah, bomb. Not really a 1cc capable pattern, so just bomb it. Not at all, honestly. Second non is the same thing. Another macro strat. Yeah, bomb. Okay, magic butterfly is just static, so you just do the same dodges every time. Nice death bomb, but that was a very strange fuck up. I guess nerves can play a part here, but okay. Unfortunate bomb timing. Going to dive straight into the pattern without having any chance to do damage. No. But, like, you can see just all those extra bombs are skipping, like, this is already, wow, these death bombs. But you can already see just how much these extra resources are helping. They have not died a single time halfway through the Byakuran fight. And they'll probably only die like 2 or 3 more times at most. Like, strictly speaking, this boss performance is not as good as the last run, but they've just got all those extra resources to back it up. Well, DR is hard. Okay. Please, unfocus. Unfocus. What? Wow. Okay, that's... I don't think I've seen anyone dodge superhuman like that before, but okay. Yeah, they just moved up and dodged the entire wave. What? LFS. Let's see if they cap it. This is definitely going to clear with way more resources than the last run, but Also, this is easily like the cleanest 1cc I've seen of this game. "5-2 into LFS, like 5-2 in UFO 1 Lunatic. That's unheard of. And this is a 1cc level play. And this LFS dodging so far is really good. They capped it! Wow! Phenomenal run. Phenomenal run. Absolutely GG's. Wow. Yeah, this is what happens when you have really good mastery over a game system, basically. Like, you could tell that they just summoned really well throughout the entire run. There's some points which are a bit weird, like in stage 2 they bombed twice on the stage section, which is really unnecessary, but like, that doesn't matter because they had so many resources to just get through the rest of the game in a really clean fashion. Yeah, amazing run. LMB is a different beast. It's, especially for UFO, half of the summons that they did this run, they did it with the help of bombs. So once you take away that bomb, which is Sanaebi's biggest advantage, you have to work much harder just to get your summons. So LMV is like a completely different beast for UFO, but it's certainly something they could go for. I think they would probably be able to do it with some effort. What's on screen right now, this is the first spell of the stage 4 boss in the fan game Infinite Blade Pavilion. Alright, our next run is going to be by Taragat. And it is going to be Syphis, L, MB, and R. NB and R stands for no bomb, no release, so it is strict dodging. It was done using Eternal Summer? Also, hi Cow. Chernal Summer, start on stage. Do you want me to start on stage 4 or skip to stage 4? I can do both. I can do both. Alright, I'll skip to stage 4. Oh, Syphis is really soft. Give me a second. Actually, hang on, I need to check that, I need to check, just in case, that I didn't start up like a mod. I guess I can tell just by going to the replay. Let me turn up the volume a bit. A lot is a bit of a stretch. I've only done this week and last week consecutively. It's just that Sunday TRS used to be a regular thing, and then people stopped doing it because people stopped hosting it. And I was recovering from getting out of conscription, like completing my conscription fairly recently, so I'm still recovering honestly, but I mean, doing this stuff is fun, so I thought I'd just pick it up again, and we needed to clear the queue again. Anyway, Sisyphus is a survival game. Well, we're not doing a survival run here, we're doing an NBNR run. But survival-wise, the release mechanic makes the game so much simpler because you can just abuse the hell out of it to cancel or skip or neutralize a lot of patterns. And doing the releases also gives you more score, and there are very high score extents in this game. Like, you're not gonna get all the score extents on the normal 1cc. On the regular 1cc, I should say. So, like, there is benefits to abusing the system in this game. But this is not a survival run, this is an NBNR run, so we have to do just dodging, pure dodging. And this game is actually surprisingly difficult. The early game is not that difficult, but once we get into stage 4 onwards, you're going to start seeing the game pick up really, really hard in the difficulty. And yes, in no release you get no PIV whatsoever. There's not even any PIV from grazing. So your score extent gain is going to be much more limited than with releases. It's not that much. You can get still a lot of lives because the spell bonuses and stuff are still quite big. But it's less than a 1cc, so that's another thing to keep in mind. Oh, I should stop skipping. Let me just start this stage again. So yeah, let's go into the shot type. Churnel is like a really weak shot type in this game. So the gimmick of Churnel is that she fires off a spread shot. Spread shots in Touhou have historically not been very good. They are generally very low damage, single target damage. They can be great at stage sections, parts of stage sections where there's a lot of enemy spam, but against tanky enemies, it's not so great. And Sifis, there are some parts where there are tanky enemies, and obviously the boss fights are going to be much worse unless you manage to shotgun. There are some patterns you can shotgun and make easier with Churnel. Many of them you can't, and many of them are going to take much longer as a result. The sub-season, summer, actually the sub-season makes a big difference in a survival run, in a NBNR run. The sub-season is, one, it makes a part of your shot. The summer sub-shot is the worst sub-shot in the game, it's not even close. It deals so little damage, even weaker than the main shot already is, and it's spread, so it'll just do P damage to like everything on screen, which is, wow, very useful. The spring sub shot is the next weakest, it's still very weak, but at least it homes in on stuff, followed by the fall and winter sub shots, which actually do considerable damage, which is what people would typically pick for NBNR runs. Churnel has a good shotgun, but that's the only thing about her, yes. Also, she's really slow, like she's the slowest character in the game. So, it's hard to get into a shotgun position, relatively speaking. Other than that, the season that you pick, the sub-shot that you pick, also affects the final spell on Okina that you face. The two strong sub-shots earlier, Fall and Winter, they also have the easiest final spells. The Fall and Winter spells are... The Fall spell is routable and generally considered to be the easiest one. The Winter one is just micro stuff. It's a little tricky, but like it's still quite easy. Much easier compared to both the Spring and Summer finals. The Spring final is... at this point I think it's generally considered to be harder than PDH, right? And the Summer final is also really, really hard, like almost on par as the Spring final. Some people even argue more harder than the Spring final, and we will get to see that at the end of the run. It's really hard. Okay, so this is a safe spot that you can do on Narumi. So actually not shooting here, huh? It makes sense since you want like better vision, but the reason why they're safe spotting here is so that they can do a safe spot on the first spell as quickly as possible. Otherwise, Churnel probably can't move into position fast enough. Yeah, it sets up the transition very well. Gonna move out of the way now, move to the side of the screen, align yourself, and then do this. Narumi doesn't move on this pattern, so this, if you get into position, it's completely safe consistently. This is otherwise a fairly RNG pattern that can be very bad sometimes, so this is a consistent strat once you learn it, but you need to align yourself fairly quickly at the end of the first non. Okay, second non is fairly simple, just make the same dodges after like the gaps in the amulets show themselves. Okay, then we have Pet Golem. I I don't really know how to do this pattern honestly, but you have to make the like it's routable. You can make the same dodges every time. Never mind. It's oh my god. Oh my god. It's a really difficult spell. Okay, final non is the gaps are much more obvious on the third non, so you can just dodge. It's just about being in a relative position to Narumi. But this is really where you can see how slow the spread shot is dealing damage. Even if the benefit of the spread shot is that you can do damage from a distance, it's like no damage, so it's really... Alright, but that is... No! Why? Oh my god, what a waste! Right. That is... This, Narumi is the one boss in all of Windows Touhou, I think PC98 Touhou as well, that doesn't despawn after the end of the boss fight. Because she moves into position at the top of the screen for like plot purposes, because you're supposed to like go into a door on her back to get into stage 5. But her hitbox doesn't despawn, so that can happen if you're in that position, or if you run into Narumi during the dialogue. Or before the dialogue, sorry. So... Wow! It's like, that's the one time in the entire series that can happen. Like, in other, you can have sometimes, like, you're very close to the boss, you kill it, the boss dies, and during its death animation, it moves into you and rams into you. That can happen. But that was not what happened. That was, the boss moved into a position after the fight already ended and killed him. So yeah. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Anyway, this mid-boss pattern, it looks scary, but it's actually static. You just need to tap down at a steady rhythm, and you'll dodge the entire thing. Post mid-boss section is random lasers, so do need to watch out here. And then we have just a bunch of death fairies that, thankfully you can shotgun for a little bit, and that will take care of them. Until here. Yeah, it's like, I don't know whether Zun just forgot or intended to leave the boss entity up, probably forgot, but the boss hitbox just doesn't despawn after the boss fight, so that can happen. It doesn't happen really anywhere else in the series. Alright, Dancers is a big pain point for his Sisyphus. It's a really difficult boss fight. The first couple patterns are routable and tame, but we're going to get into the second half of the fight very quickly, and that's when things kick up. So just sit back first and look at the base patterns, because you're going to see these patterns again. Not much to say about this pattern, and the next pattern, no one in their right mind is going to pick. Alright, I should explain the gimmick. Dying on the non is unfortunate. The gimmick of the Mai and Satono boss fight is that for the first two patterns, for the first two spells, depending on who you shoot down, you're going to face their version of their spell. So, for instance here, they shot down Satono, so they're going to face Satono's second spell. The second spell for Mai is a random mess. No one in their right mind is really going to face that, when instead you can be facing free aim pattern. Alright, third non can get kinda rough sometimes. One thing about the way the dancers fire is that they will desync more and more over time. So that can complicate the pattern in more ways than it seems. And sometimes the movement also gets really nasty and they stack on top of each other or whatever. And now we have awful pattern behind Festival. Those blue stars, their movement is random. You can't predict how they're going to move, and it's just a mess. The best you can do is to just try to give yourself as much space as possible, and that was a good restream to get back in the shotgun position to finish off the pattern. Then we have the final, which is also very random. Tengu Odoshi. The lasers are... sometimes they'll just wall you, not much you can do about that. Sometimes they'll put you in really, like, much less space than you really should have, and then you have to dodge these amulets. So, it's a very high variance pattern, and it desyncs more over time. But that's a nice cap. Alright, so now we just have stage 6 left. Give me a second. Alright, stage 6 is fairly straightforward. You just kill off these yin-yangs, try to kill off them off quickly. If you do this like pacifist, it's not viable, it's just stupid. And there are some shots that actually struggle on that section if you're not able to do enough damage quickly, like with Rainbow Spring for instance. Aya Spring as well, I think. No, actually just Rainbow Spring. Aya Spring, yeah, you have the PS which helps, but Rainbow Spring, you guys, if you haven't seen it, I believe that there are several TWC matches where we have seen Rainbow Spring played, and the start of stage 6 is a mess. But okay, yeah, that death was very unfortunate. It really just a dope death there. Alright, Okina is another big pain point for this run. Some very RNG patterns. Let's see how they go. First non is not very difficult, but first spell is where we kick off. So the difficulty of the first spell depends on which direction Okina decides to move in. She moved left, which is nice. That's going to give us a lot of space between the laser spawning, but never mind. Oof. Alright, and this is going to be a problem on like all of her nons, really. Visibility. If you have problems with like discerning where the bullets are because they blend into the background, then you're gonna have problems on basically every single non-spell. Alright, this Scorched Earth is a very random spell as well. You just have to read and hope that there's a good gap for you to take. Sometimes there's not really a good gap for you to take and you have to just try to do a stupid dodge. But that was nice. And the shotgun actually shines there because you were able to shotgun Okina the entire time and kill the pattern fairly quickly. Yeah, personally I don't really have any visibility problems on this pattern on these nons either, but it's a very common complaint. Alright. Starving Predator is a you have to try to stream from side to side, and then restream in between the waves. It's not really that difficult of a pattern. Sometimes you can get bad RNG, but generally it's quite manageable. Yeah, bitrate definitely contributes to making it look worse because the background is rather unusual for a Touhou boss fight. The background is like constantly moving and very dynamic, which eats up a lot of the bitrate. Oh, ignore my score PB. I think this was done on like either an overdrive run or like a modded version of the game. So yeah. Wait, no, I remember. This my score PB was done on the Tri-Ultra version of the on the Tri-Ultra patch. Oh god, this snowman. Yeah, that's a wall. Snowman, just that happens sometimes. Alright, spring on. Oh, this strat. Okay. There's two approaches to this, honestly. One is this, where you try to stay under Okina, but the other is that you just follow a lane, and then you end up on the side. But this is fine. If you're comfortable with doing that, it's fine. And then, Spring Magician, I believe. No, that's not what it's called. But you can shotgun this pattern for a very good amount, and then as the bullets start bouncing up towards the middle, you can retreat up to the sides and then move back down before it fires off again. So yeah, this is not a very difficult pattern. Sometimes it can be a bit memey, but it's not that hard. And then we have something really stupid. First phase is always quite simple, but you should notice right away why this pattern can be so difficult. Okina moves in a circle, and at the lowest point of a movement, she's really low on the screen. And when she's moving down, what happens is that the bullets that she's firing are basically compressed, which makes the pattern denser. Add on to that the need to constantly be streaming, and the need to restream, and then these icicle rings on top of that just to add insult to injury, and it's just a really demanding and difficult pattern to deal with. Okay, nice dodge. Ah, that's a shame. But that should be enough to kill off the pattern. Nice. Even with a bunch of weird deaths here and there, still cleared with 2 lives remaining. Very well done. Very clean LNBNR. I mean, clean with a death to Narumi's kick, effectively. But yeah, very good. And this is a fairly difficult shot type to LNBNR with even, so I mean, it's the summer final. When people go for LNBNR, their first LNBNR of this game, they would always go for fall or winter finals. So yeah, this is very well done. Our final run of the day is going to be a fan game run. Now it's a YouTube video, and I'm gonna have to apologize in advance. The recording is 360p. I can't do anything. It's going to look blurry. But, well, normally I wouldn't say that it's that big of a problem, but the game is FDF2, a game that doesn't support HD resolution, and already, like, the game itself has a more realistic look to it with the bullets and the backgrounds and the art style, so it's going to look even blurrier. So you guys are just gonna have to try to deal with that. This is a Phantasm stage survival run with Sanai, which is the worst shot in the game for survival, and I think scoring too as well, honestly. It's just a really low power shot, but we'll get into the game first. We'll get into the video. Let me bring it up. Yeah, I don't know about this person's recording setup, but it's not great, so let's just get into it. Also, they've split this video into two parts. I don't know why. Maybe like the recording broke halfway through or something. But yeah, it's going to just switch over to the second half of the video later on. Alright. Alright, let's get into it. So, oh, let me turn down the volume a bit. Alright, FDF2 is, let me briefly explain the survival mechanics of FDF2. At the bottom left of the screen, you see that there is a cherry gauge. This works, like, differently. You can fill the cherry gauge by collecting cherry items, which are the only items dropped in the game apart from power items. And you can also fill it by grazing. Now, you can also cancel bullets to get like small cherry items that will also fill the gauge. Wow, this run is not starting off well. When you fill it up and you're not in a bomb, what happens is you'll trigger a border automatically, and that border will drain the gauge at a steady pace. If you manage to keep the border going, because you can still extend the gauge during this period. If you manage to keep the border going, you'll extend the border, and then that happens. So now it's a level 2 border. And now it'll grow into a level 3 border. Anytime now. Yep, there you go. And at a level 3 border, the gauge will now drain. You can't replenish it anymore. But the benefit of a higher level border is that you get more resources out of it. A level 1 border only gives one resource piece, and a level 2 border gives 2 resource pieces. A level 3 border gives 3 resource pieces. The resources that you get from the borders cycles between bomb and life pieces. I believe it should be bomb, life piece in that order. So generally speaking, what you want to do in a survival run is you want to maximize the amount of life pieces that you get. But this whole game in general is a really generous one, so you have a lot of resources to work with, on top of the borders acting like PCB borders. If you get hit during a border, you'll still get the resources from that level of border, and you won't die because it'll just break the border instead. You already saw the border break earlier. I actually haven't heard anything about FDF3 recently, but you should know that I've already left the Chinese community completely, so I actually don't know anything about what's happening over there anymore. So the Phantasm stage here happens during spring in the Hakure Shrine or something. There's some plot to this, but it's a bit like weird. The thing you do need to know is that Yukari was using tentacle stuff because she was affected by the incident of the plot, something like that. It's a bit freaky, but if you go watch the extra stage of this game, you're gonna see like how freaky it gets. Yukari's boss fight is actually like quite cool. The Phantasm stage boss is but I just told you, Yukari is the boss of the extra stage, so who's the boss of the Phantasm stage? Well, hello there. Pandemonium. Honestly, the way the pattern transforms from like Zun style bullets into FDF2 style bullets is kinda cool in my opinion. But a lot of people actually don't really like the art style of the realistic bullets, so it's personal preference, I think. And you're going to see a lot of very realistic looking bullets throughout the entire fight. The Suika boss fight is generally not as cool as the Yukari one. It's very easy though, and I'm gonna try to explain the patterns as best as I can. I will warn you though, you can see the dialogue right now looks decent. the spell names are grossly grossly badly translated. The translation of the dialogue was actually done by someone in the fan game community called Willy Willis, but they did only that because the rest of the translation was done by a very bad translation company. Alright, first spell, okay, they're not really dodging this well, but first you have to dodge these strips of rocks, and then you have to misdirect the large boulder as it fires off towards you. The hitboxes of these bullets are much smaller than they seem. Generally only like a small circle in the middle of them, so don't get too intimidated by the sprites. They're much bigger than what the hitbox actually entails. Second non is just streaming stuff. I don't know about these bombs, honestly. Alright, this spell, those lanes, you get ample warning of where they're going to fire off, but like, it's just, they'll fire off in roughly the same positions every time, so if you just stay at this height roughly, you'll be fine. You just need to misdirect the main, like, crack, I guess. Oh, wow. Alright, this non is, I think the rocks are aimed, but the fireballs are a little tricky to dodge. Alright, this pattern, those three giant meteors are going to slam down, but they're always going to stand on in the exact same positions. No, don't do that. They're going to stand on in the exact same positions every time. So what you have to do is you have to move down and then around in order to dodge this pattern, but, well, they're doing that very badly. It's fine. Alright, this pattern is aimed. What are they doing? It's like they know that it's aimed, and then like halfway through they just get hit by it anyway. Anyway, this pattern, it's just dodging random stuff, honestly. The rocks are your main and only concern, and again, the hitbox of the rocks is much bigger than they seem. You have a lot more space to dodge than you think, and it's a really easy pattern even if you didn't have that much space, so yeah. Just make sure you don't run into the wall. Okay, this part, I believe that the rocks are again aimed, and then you have to deal with these lane. Okay, yeah, that was actually quite rough. Okay, this pattern is just about staying in the middle of these chains as they bob about. But other than that, it's just these fireballs and rocks that you have to worry about. This dodging looks very, how do I put it? Lucky, I guess. But that's fine. You can see that Suika dropped a lot of resources herself as well, so this is really not a difficult stage at all. Another aim pattern, by the way. What are you doing? Do they know how to restream? I guess not. Oh dear. Alright, this pattern is just, you need to move out of the way of that, obviously, but then you just... It's a bit hard to explain, but you don't want to be too high, otherwise you have to deal with like a lot of those fireball spams. But also, like, you want to move out of the way of the rocks as well. You generally want to prefer to misdirect the starting wave all the way into a corner. That way you have as much space to work with as you can. Alright, this is aimed, so... yeah. Okay, so this pattern, you want to move out of the way of that, and then you want to dodge relatively like close to where Suika would be. So now move down, not like that. You just need to make sure you don't get rammed by her, that's the only thing. And definitely don't trigger this blast in the middle of the screen, because that's going to... you want to trigger this blast like as far to the edge as you can, because that's going to give you more space to dodge everything. Alright, 1 second, I need to switch over to the second half of the video. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's a YouTube video, and it's a 360p video. I can't do anything about the bitrate. Anyway, that pattern is aimed, don't worry. Alright, this is just, this is pretty much like that one Yugi spell in Essay. But you have... your hitbox is highlighted by that shine. It's a bit hard to see because of the bitrate, but you have this like giant shine around the character, which will dictate where your hitbox is at all times. And again, the hitbox of the rocks in general is smaller than it seems, so this is not actually that difficult of a pattern, but you have to be comfortable with the hitboxes first. Yeah, it's sort of like Storm. And now we have the survival. So the survival starts out in a setup phase of sorts. So what Suika will do is that she'll move to where you are, fire off a ring, and then set like a giant stone in position. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't wall yourself like that, but you also want to make sure that you don't set two of the stones too close together, because what she'll do is she'll fire off this like giant wave, and then depending on which rock you're hiding underneath, she'll destroy that rock. If you set two of the rocks too close together, then she might break both of them, and then you have nothing to dodge behind. And for the final wave, you have to move behind where you started out. And finally we have the final spell. It's just raw dodging really, not much to say about this. But there's a lot of phases of this spell. There are actually 3 phases at the very end of this spell that end in like half a second each. Because, like, I guess they wanted to make a very prolonged explosion animation or something. But if you want for a challenge, you can actually stop shooting at the very last level of health, and it is like ridiculously difficult. You can see that they like pretty much didn't really dodge any of the patterns, but they still cleared with a lot of resources. That's how generous this game can be. Yeah, and now you're gonna see explode, 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 and this is the final phase. That's it. It's not over. It's a Phantasm stage. Alright, that spell name is untranslated, but that aside, the start of this spell is like pretty much just PCB's border, so Then it delves into a little different category. Alright, so this part you need to sort of spin, but you don't want to be there, you want to be outside. This you want to be in the middle and you need to spin this. They don't know how to dodge this at all. No, it doesn't freeze when you die. This as well, you need to be near the middle, spin, and then it will transform into, you have to be in the middle, like in the straight middle. And then what would have happened there if the bomb didn't clear everything was like basically the last part of the Iron Last Word. And that's it. Well, there you go. FDF2 Phantasm. Congrats on the clear, I guess, but honestly, that was like they bombed every pattern. they literally just bombed every pattern and cleared anyway. That's how generous this game is. Alright, that's it. FDF2 is a game that has been out for quite some time now. It's a paid game on Steam, so I don't, at this point, it's a really pretty game, but it's also, like, that's about it. If you, like, value the aesthetics of it, it's something that I would recommend you pick up and experience, but the game, honestly, the patterns at this point have become kind of boring, and the system is exceedingly, probably overly generous. So it's a fan game that you can pick up. It costs a lot of money, honestly. So if you want to buy it, then do consider that. FDF3 is probably, I would think that it's probably still in development. I mean, FDF2 itself came out like out of nowhere. It's as well, so I would expect the FDF3 to have an equally long dev time. But yeah, that's all we have for TRS today. So next week for TRS, we'll next Saturday first, Gastari will be back, and I will tell you right now. I submitted a task run at the end of October for Gastari to watch. He's gonna be watching that next stream. So tune in or watch the VOD of next Saturday if you want to see that. And we have basically just a bunch of runs for Gastari to go through next week, as always. After that is going to be... I probably will try to do another Sunday TRS after this. Try to keep this somewhat regular so that we can clear up the queue. But yeah, that's all we have for TRS for today. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for coming down to watch. And if you guys haven't already, we have a Discord server for you to join. If you have any inquiries or if you want to make any amendments to your submissions, join the Discord server, and there is an inquiries channel for you to do just that. If you want to specify for somebody to commentate your run, then you want to ask in that channel. And I know earlier we had someone who didn't get their request gone through, so their run ended up being shown at the start of this stream. Sorry about that, but if that happens, if you notice that that's happening, and do ping somebody, like ping 32 or someone else for ping one of the TRS staff members to correct that in the sheet before we show your run on stream. But as well as that, the how you submit, everything's in the Discord as well. Currently we have a 2-month limit because the queue is a bit long, but we should be able to get rid of that limit fairly soon, and then after that you are able to submit a run every month, hopefully, but for now it's every 2 months. And yeah, thanks for watching. And we'll see you next week on TRS.